So it's interesting how I ended up at the Parker Center. For my job, I travel about 90% of the time. I was on a plane, somebody was pulling their luggage out from the overhead and clunked me on the head. I also travel a lot on New Jersey Transit, so I had had the stitches removed. It would look like it was healing well. Somebody was pulling a backpack out of the bus on New Jersey Transit and their iPad fell out and clunked me exactly in the same spot where I had the stitches. I had a little ridge that came up on the side, and at the same time some of the pathology came back, and there were 3 different slides of the pathology. 2 of the slides came back clear, 1 of them came back with cancer on it. That little lump started to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and when I came back from my appointment, we didn't have the results of the 3 weeks yet. That were going to take a day or two, but he just looked at it and he said, "You have keratocarcinoma," which is a form of cancer. And the next day, all the results came back and said the same thing. So he explained to me what the course of treatment was. He referred me to a Mohs surgeon. We went through the Mohs procedure. It was interesting because almost as soon as this lump had a name, keratocarcinoma, it started to grow. And it was probably the size of my thumb, sticking out of the top of my head. But Dr. Parker is an expert at reconstruction, and he said there is a procedure that we can do so that you don't have this bald spot. It was a pretty big bald spot. I would say it was definitely the size of a pancake. And he said what we would do is we put spacers in, and that will inflate them twice a week for a period of time, and that will help the scalp stretch and grow where you have hair. And then we'll remove the spacers, and then we will close the scalp and just seam it down, and you'll just have a scar. And that is exactly what we did. And it worked, and it worked. I have a full head of hair. I have a little scar. Nobody can see it. I am the most fortunate person I know. But the nurses, before every procedure, would call to make sure I was okay. After every procedure, would call to make sure I was okay. Took great care of me. They were terrific with my parents. My parents are in their 70s, and my parents came all the time. Just the concept of total care came through 100% with everything I had at the Parker Center. My experience with Dr. Parker was amazing. I can't say enough good things about him. Just fantastic. Great.